And
Yes,
then
sir.
it's called seasonal working capital, and then it's called special working capital based on the need. Okay, that is already discussed. And this graph, I think, is clear. No, any doubt regarding this graph? Permanent working capital will be constant for a normal firm. Okay, and then this is your temporary working capital, which will be fluctuating. Okay, and then this is for the second graph is for the growing firm. As the company start growing, your permanent working capital also will start increasing. And then for a declining firm, what happens? Your permanent working capital will decline. And then we saw
So
one more
what?
classification, that is
One
called
doubt. What is the example for permanent working capital?
permanent working capital. For example, your wages, which you need to pay every month. Okay, there is no any difference in wages. And then your say your electricity charges, which is a constant electricity charges. See, electricity charges is actually semi-variable. Part of it is fixed, part of that is variable. So part of the thing
Okay.
which is fixed, that comes on your permanent working capital, which they
Okay.
need to have it every day. They need to have this capital throughout the year. Okay, that is what is your permanent working capital. And
And
your,
temporary, sir?
pardon me,
What is temporary working capital?
temporary, for example, there is a festival season, say like Diwali or Christmas or Ramzan. So what happened, these festival time, they need to manufacture more than the normal time. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Or for a ice cream company, for example, during the summer season they need to manufacture more, because during summer season the ice cream demand will be more. Got it? So that
Yes, sir.
particular capital which is required only for particular season or particular duration of time, very short time, maybe one month or 3 months. Okay, only that particular time we require this working capital. After that, it is not required. After that, they'll go and manufacture the normal production will be going on. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is your temporary working capital, which is required only for temporary, maybe because of the seasonality or because of the special need in the market. Got it? For example, now what happened during coronavirus time? What happened? What was the more demand? The masks were in more demand. Then these company which are manufacturing masks, so they need to have more temporary working capital. So once our coronavirus is reduced or the medicine is found, then what happened? This is not required. Then they'll go back to the permanent working capital. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And this also, I think you understood, right? Positive and negative. Negative where you are, when you minus your current assets and current liability, you get negative answer, because here the customer will pay you the product for the product before you dispatch the product or before you send for delivery. Okay, that is your negative working capital, like company like Amazon, Flipkart. So they'll be using negative working capital. And then we saw different determinants of working capital. Okay, any doubt regarding any of these points? We have discussed already last time. Anyways, I'm going to share you the detailed notes of each and every point. You can read that later. But as of now, any doubt on any point?
No, sir.
Yeah. See, one more thing I just wanted to explain. Eighth one is terms of credit. See, terms of credit also works as a working capital. Because, for example, you are getting a term of credit for a very long time from a supplier. So whatever the cash you're supposed to pay to the supplier, you can use that as a working capital finance for that particular time. For example, say you're given 6 months time. So till 6 months, that cash is no need to pay to the supplier. And this 6 months time, this cash can be used as a temporary working capital. Got it? So that is why the eighth point is also one of the important factor for determining your working capital. It can be from both the
Uh,
side, term of credit from the supplier or the term of credit what you give to the customer, what company gives to the customer.
so term of credit, does it include only time factor or does it include anything else?
Term factor is actually main, it includes even time, it includes your interest rate and all those things. In case if they are allowing, if their interest supposed to pay. If not, mainly it is talks about the time period allowed by the customers. Remember, we had done last time the cash budgets. Remember the cash budget we discussed last time, last trimester, where we were discussing the time period allowed by supplier is 3 months,
sir. Yes,
6
sir.
months. Similarly, the company allowed the credit period allowed to customers is 2 months. So the what do you call? For example, if you are allowing for a very short time for the customer, that means you're going to receive the money very fast. That means your operating cycle is going to complete very fast. Got it? It's mainly deals with the time period. In terms of working capital, in terms I'm talking about. In terms of
Understood,
finance,
sir.
if you see, then it includes for example, if you are giving more time period for customer to repay, then what happened? You have to invest that money in the company. Then you may have to borrow it somewhere. Then it includes the cost also. Interest cost will be involved. Clear? Any other points is not clear? Shall we go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Another point also we discussed degree of coordination between production and distribution. They need to have very good coordination. Then what happens? Your time duration or a cycle, your operating cycle will reduce. Okay, and then specialization in field of distribution. That's very important. Okay, supply chain management is very important. That is why we can see there is a separate course which is created by many of the universities only to study supply chain. Okay, and then development of means of transportation, communication, and hazards and contingencies in the business, and all those will also contribute towards your working capital determinants. Okay, and then we saw the working capital policies. Relaxed policy where you are very conservative. You go ahead with the long-term financing, and aggressive or restrictive where you go with the short-term financing, and then moderate is between relaxed and restrictive. Okay, and then we saw the short-term and long-term sources of finance. Okay, so what are the short-term sources of finance? You can see here trade credit. So the trade credit which is given by the supplier, it will work as your short-term source of finance. And short-term bank credit, what you take from the banks. Then factoring of receivables. What is factoring of receivables? I think last time I told you. What is factoring? Previous class I already explained. Factoring, forgot already. What is factoring? Factoring is nothing but your account receivables, the debtors or account receivables, what you have, you actually hand over those to a financial institution. And this financial institution will take your receivables and give you the money immediately. Whatever the money is that worth of the receivables. For example, you are giving 1 lakh worth of receivables. So the company will give, the bank will give you immediately the cash, but it will not give you full 1 lakh. It may give you say 90,000 or 95,000, because the remaining 5,000 maybe they'll take it as a charges. That's called the factoring fees. Factoring fees. But what is the advantage for the company here? They'll get the cash immediately. Maybe the receivables, maybe for if they want to receive the money from the customer, they may have to wait for 6 months or 3 months or 4 months. But here, when you're doing factoring, you will get on the same day the entire money you'll get. Okay, but these institutions who are borrowing, you will take your receivables, will get the money from the customers later. They will collect the money and they'll give you that. Okay, that is called,
Sir, this factoring and bill discounting are same.
which one?
Bill discounting.
Yeah, there is a slight differences are there where you are in factoring. What happens is the risk is actually transferred to the what do you call this called factoring and non-course factoring, where what happens, the risk will be transferred to the financial institution, or sometimes if they don't agree, there's no transfer of what do you call the risk of your non-collecting the receivable. Sometimes customers may not pay the money, right? Then who has to bear that risk? So in the factory, what happens? The risk can be transferred to the institution. Okay.
Okay.
And then the commercial papers, you already know, right? What is commercial paper? Commercial paper is a money market instrument, which is a short-term instrument which is issued by the companies. Okay, the companies can issue this short-term instrument, which is called as commercial paper. And then long-term, you already know, equity share capital, preference share, debentures, long-term borrowings, all those things. Okay. So this is where I think we were discussing last time: hedging approach, conservative approach, and aggressive approach. Okay. So these theory have to be very, very clear, because if the lockdown is not going to continue, it's going to continue for a long time, then again you may have to undergo a midterm exam, which will be again theoretical oriented. That is why I'm giving more importance to theory also than the numericals. Okay. So please understand. Any doubt is there, you can ask me. Okay. So I think last time also already we discussed. Anyways, we'll once again go through it. So hedging approach or the matching approach. So maturity matching or hedging approach is a strategy of working capital financing where short-term requirements are met with short-term debts, long-term requirements are met with long-term debt. Understood? Short-term means your which is required for temporary. That's nothing but your temporary working capital. Long-term is your permanent working capital. So short-term will be financed with short-term debt instruments like commercial papers, short-term credit, trade credit, all those things. And long-term equity, debenture, all those things, preference shares. And the underlying principle in this approach is that each asset should be compensated with the debt instrument having almost same maturity period. Okay, the maturity period should match. For example, the requirement for short term is say 6 months. Your short term debt, what you are raising, should also have 6 months. So both has to match. Okay, this is an equation. Financing strategy in equation. Long term funds will be used for fixed assets and permanent working capital. And short-term funds will be used for only for temporary working capital. Is it clear?
So what about that maturity period? I didn't get that.
The maturity period of these instruments, what you're using to raise a fund, should match with your requirement. For example, I'm saying this is for long-term fund. I'm using for permanent working capital. That means I need for 1 year, for example, and even your say you need permanent working capital will be for every year. It will not change. Say for 5 years or 10 years. And this 10 years should match with your instruments, what you're using to raise this fund for 10 years. Both should mature together. For example, you are using say debenture, 10 years debenture you're issuing to finance permanent working capital. And this permanent working capital also should be usable for 10 years. If it requires for 12 years, then again what happens? There's a gap of 2 years. Then you have to raise debenture also should be matching for 12 years. Got it?
Yes, sir.
That is what matching is doing here. And here temporary also should match with your source of finance. So temporary, say for example, they need only for 3 months. Maybe in the ice cream manufacturing company, they need only for summer, maybe March, April, and May. They need temporary working capital. Say they are issuing commercial papers. And this commercial paper should also be for 3 months, March, April, and May. Then what happens? There's a matching. Understood? This you can raise it and you can use it. Once May is over, then they have to repay the money. They have to repay to the money who has invested in the commercial papers, the investors. And you can repay it because your temporary working capital need is over. Once May is over, your demand will fall down. You may not require the temporary working capital. Got it? That is what is called matching. Matching your resources from where you are getting the finance and matching your requirement. Got it?
Yes, sir.
You know, these financial instruments has a time duration. Debenture, if you're issuing, the redeemable debenture, if you're issuing, so it has to be for certain period of time. So it may be 5 years or 10 years or 20 years. Got it? So that years what you are issuing, so that should match with your requirement also for working capital. Got it? That's what I'm telling about matching yeah, approach. Understood? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Yeah. You can see here the graph of edging approach. So you can see here the graph one, the first line, the slightly slant to a horizontal one. You can see here that is your fixed assets and permanent working capital till the red line. You can see the red line on the horizontal line. That is financed by what? You can see on the right hand side. How are you financing the fixed assets and permanent working capital?
Long-term financing.
It is long-term financing. And above this line, you can see there that is temporary working capital, which is financed by what?
Short term.
Short-term working capital. And this line which divides your permanent own working capital is called your hedging strategy. Got it? That is what the company has to decide. What is your hedging strategy? How much is your permanent? How much is your temporary? Okay. Based on that, they'll be deciding the how much is short-term and how much is the long-term finance they require. Okay. You can see there the summary of this entire approach. So maturity approach. I will given you two scenarios here. You can see there. Permanent assets finance with short-term financing. Understood? That means in case he has given you two case studies here. One is case study where he says permanent assets are financed with short-term financing. If you finance like this, what is the risk in this? You can see there. In this situation, the borrower has to renew or refinance the short-term loan every time simply because duration for which money is required is higher. The firm is exposed to refinancing risk. That means you're taking very short-term finance, maybe 3 months, you're taking a small credit from bank. And every 3 months you have to renew it if you want it every 3 months. Then you can see the question here, if the lender who is giving that credit for 3 months, if he says for any reason I cannot renew it, if he denies the renewal, then what happened to the firm? Then it will affect your day-to-day operations cannot be done. It will affect your day-to-day operations if this working capital is not there. Okay. And second scenario, you can see here, these temporary assets are financed with long-term financing. That means the temporary assets are being financed with the long-term financing, like by issuing debenture or bonds and all those things. In this situation, what happens? In this situation, firstly, the borrower has to pay interest on long-term loans, even though requirement is only temporary, but still they have to pay the interest part for a very long time for that period when the loan is not getting utilized. When the finance what you're taking, the money what you have borrowed, sometimes it may not be utilized because the need is only temporary. Then what happens? Secondly, interest rate for long-term loans is normally dearer to short-term loans. Normally it will be very costly compared to the short-term loans because the concept of term premium. And these two additional costs hit the profitability of the firm. So cost is very high and then you are not utilizing it properly when the time is not required. What happens? It will affect your profitability of the firm will come down. Okay, so this is your two scenarios you can see. This is called say scenario 1 and scenario 2. So after the discussion, we can see here situation A, the cost may be very low because you are financing with the short term. But what happened to the risk? Risk is very high. Why risk is very high? Because the renewing of the short term credit, sometimes the lender denies the renewal. What happened? They have to undergo huge risk because if the cash is not there, then the operation has to stop. Okay. And situation B concludes what? Cost is very high, but risk is very less. There is no risk because you have a long-term finance. So situation A is not acceptable because of such a high risk, and situation B hits the profitability of the company, okay, which is the primary goal of any business and the survival. So therefore, the hedging or matching maturity approach to finance is ideal for effective working capital management. Got it now? So you cannot take the permanent assets finance with short term because there is a risk of denial of renewal, and temporary you cannot go with the long term because high cost, it will affect your profitability and it will not be used when not used all the time. Okay, so that is why they have proved that hedging strategy is a very good strategy or matching strategy is a very good strategy to finance the working capital management. Clear? Any doubt? Hedging strategy and matching strategy understood?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then we'll go to the second one. Second one is conservative approach. So conservative approach is where the risk-free strategy for working capital is financing. That means they don't want to take any risk. They very conserve in the strategy of financing the working capital. A company adopting this strategy maintains a very high level of current assets and therefore high working capital is also there in the company. And the major part of the working capital is financed by long-term sources. So how are they financing the major part of working capital? Using long-term sources, okay, like equity, debentures, term loans, etc. And so the risk associated with the short-term financing is abolished to a greater extent. They will go for short-term, but very less amount. Majority of the amount they go with the long-term financing. Okay, you can see the equation here, financing strategy in equation of conservative approach. So the long-term funds will be used for fixed assets, buying fixed assets and permanent working capital, and part of the temporary working capital is also financed using long-term finance. And short-term finance is used mainly for, it is only for the remaining part of the temporary working capital, which is not financed with the long-term funds. Okay. You can see the graph here, the fixed assets, permanent working capital, and here you can see the second horizontal line. We have one more dotted horizontal line. That means I am dividing the temporary working capital into two parts. Yes or no? Can you see that? Hello?
Yes, sir.
You can see here the extreme right, the red dotted lines. Can you see there? Till where
Yes,
this
sir.
line is reaching?
Till temporary.
It is going up to the part half of temporary line, right?
Yes, sir.
That means this entire thing is being financed using long-term financing. Got it? And then very short, very less amount. You can see the after this blue line, the dotted blue line, above that you can see there where the remaining part of the temporary working capital is being financed with the short-term financing. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt? Understood now? This is called conservative strategy. Understood the graph? Any doubt? So here they're using more long-term finance than short-term finance. Okay. That is what is called very conservative approach. And here you can see the strategy. They go. You can see the advantages and disadvantages. Just look at the bottom. Advantages is what? Smooth operations with no stoppage because you have a very big amount of working capital which has been financed with the long term. So there is no any problem for your operations. Second, no insolvency risk. What do you mean by insolvency risk? Because you have a very long-term finance and there is no opportunity for you to stop the operations because you can continuously run your production. So there is no chance of insolvency. There is no chance that you go for bankruptcy. Okay, because they have a lot of working capital. And you can see on the other side the disadvantages or demerits. One is higher interest cost. Why there is high interest cost? Why? Can someone tell me why high interest cost they have to bear?
So because you're using long-term finance,
Yeah,
which
long-term
always
finance
has a high,
always come with the
has a
high
high.
interest cost compared to the short term. Okay, and second one, idle funds. Why idle funds? Because a lot of the fund you are taking, for example, you are even financing temporary uh, working capital, right? And this temporary is only for very few months or few days. And after once it is over, then what will happen to the long-term finance which is used for temporary? That will be kept idle, right? It will not be used. So a lot of idle funds will be wasted. And then higher carrying cost. What is the carrying cost is very high. Since they have very high working capital, what they'll do is they'll buy more and more raw material. They'll have very high level of inventory. And when you have very high level of inventory, there is a carrying cost always more. Carrying cost means maintenance of those inventory, and that inventory has to be insured, because if there is any theft or fire, that inventory may be lost. So they have to pay premium for that insurance. Okay, and they have to be security guard has to be there to secure those inventories. So the carrying cost is very high. Okay, and then other last disadvantages is inefficient working capital management, because it will very high cost idle funds. Then what happens? It will definitely affect your uh, profitability if you don't manage this properly. Then what happens? This is actually called as inefficient way of managing your working capital. Got it? So many of the company doesn't like to have very high working capital. So if anybody is going for this, they'll be definitely going with the inefficient way of working capital management. Got it? Any doubt regarding conservative approach before we go to the third last one?
No, sir.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Got it? So this is conservative approach. Next, last one, aggressive approach. As a word, aggressive means what? What do you mean by aggressive?
Highly risky.
What happened? All are sleeping. I know it's a very hard time.
No, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Aggressive means what?
Highly risky.
Highly risky. Why? Okay. They're ready to take a very high risk. Okay. So these are the companies who adopt this approach are the very risk-taking companies. Okay. Let's see why it is more risky. It's a high risk strategy. The other one, what we saw previous one, that was risk-free strategy. Okay, the conservative was risk-free strategy. Aggressive is opposite of that. That is high risk. So can you guess from where they're going to get the finance? Whether they're going to use long-term finance or short-term finance?
Short term.
Yeah,
Short term.
they go for short-term finance are utilized
Short term.
not only to finance the temporary working capital, but also a reasonable part of the permanent working capital. They also finance the uh, permanent working capital using short-term finance. Okay. In this approach of financing, the levels of inventory, account receivables, bank balances are just sufficient with no cushion for uncertainty. Okay. They use what are the level they require. They buy the raw material, the inventory, account receivables, and bank balances are just kept sufficient, which is required for that particular production. If any uncertainty comes, they don't have any cushion. There's no any cushion for uncertainty. If any uncertainty is going to hit the company, then they have to take a very high risk. Okay. And there is a reasonable dependence on the trade credit. That means they depend more on the trade credit given by the supplier. Okay. So this is how the equation looks here. Long-term funds will finance fixed assets and part of permanent working capital, and short-term finance will finance your remaining part of the permanent working capital plus temporary working capital. That's what the difference you can see here. In earlier, what happened in the conservative, the part of the temporary was financed by long term. Now, part of the permanent is financed by short term. That's only the difference. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now you'll see the graph. The graph, what you can see the difference here. Just go through the graph. What difference can you see here?
So long-term finance is touched strategy.
Long term,
Long-term financing
yeah,
touched till the aggressive strategy. I mean, till half of the aggressive strategy.
okay. Any other observations?
There is a problem area.
Problem area, which is the problem area?
The area between temporary working capital and permanent working capital.
Yeah, is it full permanent working capital or part of the permanent working capital?
A part of the permanent working
Yeah, only part of that. That's the main difference you can see here. This blue dotted lines, no, where does it come? Is it above the permanent working capital or below that?
Below that.
Below.
Earlier, what happened? It was
Above.
in between the temporary working capital, right? Now it is below the temporary working capital and above the permanent working capital. That means part of your permanent working capital is financed using long-term financing, but the part of the remaining part of the permanent working capital finance with the short-term. Okay, and the temporary only finance with only short-term financing. And why they say it is a problem area? Because this permanent working capital cannot be compromised. Because if you compromise this permanent working capital, it will hit your operations. It will hit your operating cycle. You cannot complete your operating cycle correctly. Got it? That is why this is a problematic area. Clear? Any doubt in the figure, in the graph, what you see? Kishore, please mute your audio. Kishore, kindly mute. Okay, so let me see the summary of the aggressive approach of working capital. Let us look at the advantages and disadvantages. Advantages is low financing cost and high profitability because they are going, majority is going with the short-term finance. So cost will be very high and it will increase your profits. Then lower carrying and handling cost because they will buy only inventory what is required. Something just like they'll approach like just-in-time approach. They'll buy only what is required. What is not required, they won't buy. Okay, maybe like a company like Toyota, no, they go with the just-in-time. Same way they may go with the just-in-time approach where they buy only what is required. So there'll be very lower carrying cost and handling cost. Then highly efficient working capital management strategy is this one because they are efficiently managing the working capital and that is why it is called very efficiently managing it because it's not affecting your profit, it's not affecting your cost is also very less. Okay, that's why it's called as efficiently managing your working capital. Obviously there is a disadvantages also. What is the first one? Insolvency risk. Why there is insolvency risk? Can someone guess it?
because permanent working capital is also financed.
Okay. So what is the danger there?
Loss of money.
Okay. Why will the company undergo insolvent? Why will the company become bankrupt?
Because it
Lot
won't
of
get
debt.
any return.
Long-term debts.
Long-term?
Debts.
Long-term debt they're taking less actually. But they are depending more on short-term for working capital. Think.
Sir, if they don't find enough short-term funds, there's a chance that operations will not take place.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
And you can see the one more point there below. Yeah. Continue, Deepak. You're saying
Oh,
something
sorry.
else?
They might overproduce and may not be much of sales, so they might have taken working capital for producing. They might have forecasted a large amount of sales over a period of time, but they might not have completed that sale. They have not made that sale. They may have stock in trade, and they might have taken a lot of working capital. So that also might lead to a deficiency.
Yeah, that's very correct. You can see the second point also. They lose a lot of opportunities because of working capital is not there. For example, there's a very good demand in the market and there's a lot of demand for you to produce and sell it. But they don't have working capital. What happens? They cannot produce it, and they lose a lot of opportunities. And unexpected shocks will be there because you already promised your customer that you want to produce and supply it to your retailer or wholesaler, but you're unable to produce that. Then what happens? You will undergo a company might undergo a insolvency also risk, because you're not able to meet your commitments. The company will not able to fulfill their commitment for the supply of goods and services. Okay, so it's a major disadvantages of this. Advantages are more than the disadvantages, but if they are able to manage it properly, then this is actually called as a very highly efficient way of working capital management. Clear? Okay, so any other doubts? So we
Sir, one
completed,
second.
yeah.
Sir,
You
insolvency
complete-
risk. 1 second, can I explain?
Which one?
Insolvency risk.
Yeah, insolvency risk is it will happen when you are not able to fulfill your commitments. You are told that you are going to supply so much of products, but you don't have working capital. What happens? You're not able to manufacture. Then what happens? You'll be not able to fulfill your demand. Then what happens? Your sales will come down. Once your sales come down and your cost when your cost is more than your revenue, then what happens? You'll undergo a insolvency. That means you'll incur loss, and then you may have to sell your assets and you have to fulfill it. Got it? Because one of the major problem with the short-term financing is the renewal. Every 6 months or every 3 months, you have to get renewal. For example, you are not getting renewal, then what it will happen? It will hit your finances. For example, you are taking say 6 months term loan from the bank. You say every year is giving you, every 6 months is giving you. Suddenly in the second year, he says, I cannot renew it. They say, okay, you go for long term. I will give you only long term loan, but I'll not give you short term loan. Then what happens? Your operations will stop till you get the money. Okay, that will lead for insolvency. Not only that, your even opportunities will be lost and unexpected shocks will be there from the supplier. You have to pay the supplier money. Customer, they're asking for products and they are not paid. You're not supplying to them. Okay, then what happened to your brand image will also go in the market, and your goodwill will come down. Then stock prices will come down. Then what happens? You lead the insolvency. Your liabilities will become more than your assets. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Jibin? Yeah. So the three important approaches, please go through it once again. Any doubt is there, you can ask me in the next class also. Those are very, very important approaches. All the graphs and everything, please practice it. If it's asked in the question in exam, you have to, I expect you to draw the graph also. Okay? Is it okay? Shall we go now? Very, very important topic. That is operating cycle. Okay, so your entire working capital depends on this operating cycle. The more longer your operating cycle, more working capital you require. Shorter the operating cycle, shorter the working capital you require, the less amount you require. Okay, so what is operating cycle? It is nothing but the length period required to convert, okay, the sales after acquisition of the resources such as materials, power, etc. into cash. The operating cycle of manufacturing firm typically involves three phases. One is acquisition of resources such buying of raw material and acquiring the labors, power, fuel, etc. And then after acquiring raw material, what you do? You have to manufacture and produce a product. You are going to undergo. Jubi, please mute. Juby, kindly mute. And this inventory, you're going to convert them into semi-finished goods or work in progress. And then this will be counted into finished goods. And then this will be sold in the market either for cash or credit. And credit sales result into debtors or account receivable. Okay. Let me show you now in the graph. It will be different for two firms. One is for manufacturing firm. This graph, what you're seeing, it is mainly for manufacturing firm. One more graph is there for trade. Okay, trading firm. So this is what is a typical working operating cycle. So it starts from here. You purchase of raw material, and then this undergo a production process, and then it will become work in progress or semi-finished goods. And then again continue the work production process, and you will be able to complete and finish your, and then you'll get what? You'll get your finished goods. And these finished goods you take to the marketplace and you sell it. And if you're selling for cash, you'll directly get the cash here. That will complete your operating cycle. Or else if you're selling on credit, then you'll get the debt collection or credit payment has to be done. And then when you convert your debtors into cash, then your operating cycle is going to complete. Okay, so it starts from cash and it will end by cash. Got it? Understood? So first you will have the cash, then you will buy raw material, then you convert into work in progress, then into finished goods, and these finished goods you will sell it. If you're selling for cash, directly you will get the cash, and then your cycle will be completed. Or else you have to convert into debtors, and then you have to get the money from debtors, and then when you get it, then you get the cash, and then it will complete your working capital. Operating cycle will be completed. Clear? Any doubt? Did you understand the operating cycle for a manufacturing firm?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Others? Jibin?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we'll go for trading firm. What do you mean by trading firm? What is the difference between manufacturing and trading firm?
So manufacturing the conversion raw material into finished goods, and trading for involves stock cash.
Yeah, they don't do any manufacturing. They'll directly buy the produced goods. They'll buy the finished goods directly from the producer. Okay, and they'll just buy it and they'll sell it. That's something like they are wholesalers or retailers. Got it? Like say your Big Bazaar. Now what Big Bazaar does? Big Bazaar, they have their own products also, but apart from that, they'll buy from others and they'll sell it. Like Big Bazaar, D-Mart, all those are trading firms. They don't manufacture their own products. Some products they manufacture, but majority of the product they don't manufacture. They'll buy from the producers. Okay, so for them the operating cycle is very, very small. So only 3 steps are there. What is the first one? First they have to have the cash. From this cash they'll buy the inventory, and this inventory they're going to sell it to customer, and they'll get a debtors. And these debtors, when they recover the money from customer, you'll again get back the cash. So cash, inventory, and debtors. Only 3 stages in this particular operating cycle. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we have problems on this also. I'll show you the formulas now, how to calculate. And for the service concern, what will be the operating cycle? The operating cycle embraces the length of time taken for transformation of cash into debtors and from debtors to cash again. Because service firm, they don't have any inventory, right? They don't have any inventory. So they only take a cash and they'll that into debtors will be there, and then debtors will get the cash. There is only 2 lines, cash to debtors and debtors to cash. I didn't draw that graph, but it's only 2 lines, 2 points will be there. Got it? Understood? This is
Yes,
operating
sir.
cycle for service concern. There are only 2 stages. One is you will do a service. Okay, say for example you use a cash, maybe you have to buy some engineer who is giving service, right? For example, and this service engineer will do some service, and that service is done for a customer who will pay it later. And this customer is a debtor, and this debtor will come and pay you the money after some time, and you will get the cash. That's all. What is missing here is no inventory. In trading concern, inventory will be there, but where in service firm there is no inventory, because if you give only service, they don't involve any inventory. Got it? Like your
Yes, sir.
PVR, no, like PVR and your amusement parks, Indian Railways, all these service industry, or the repairs, who does the repairs. Okay, these are the service concerns. Okay, I think I didn't put the formulas. I'll show it now in this thing. Shall we continue or shall we stop? I mean, our time is up now. Yeah, shall we continue or shall we stop? Shall we complete these problems? One problem we'll do on operating cycle.
The next class you can do.
Yes, sir. Next class, sir. Enough
Tomorrow we'll
theory.
start the problem. Tomorrow we'll start the problems. Today we'll change.
Next class, sir.
Okay, so look at the theory, no? The theory very important because of the pandemic, no? Sometimes we may not have the offline midterm exam. Again, we have to go like your accounting, no? Accounting 2, we had a online exam. So definitely we have to give you theory only. We cannot give numerical. Okay, so please read the theory and understand. Any doubt is there, you can come back to me tomorrow. Not tomorrow, when we have next class, and then we'll solve the problem on okay? Any other doubts you have?
No, sir.
No doubts? Okay, any doubt you have?
No.
Thank you very much. We'll meet in the next class.